The room next to us had 2 police officers waiting outside of it all night. I can't believe I've just met a celebrity. I mean, I see you get what you pay for, we nearly didn't. Because I'm apparently illiterate, it was closed. I've stayed too long and run out of time. We booked a hotel in probably quite a sketchy area. It's currently 7:24 AM. I'm bored and I've just had a thought. How easy would it be to book a spontaneous trip leaving today? So I've decided to set myself that exact challenge. But to make things a bit more interesting, I've also decided to give myself 3 rules for this challenge. Rule number 1, I have to leave before 12 noon today. Rule number 2, the trip has to be in the UK. And rule number 3, I only have a budget of £100 for the entire trip. That includes accommodation, transport, food, activities, everything. I'm gonna start looking now and hopefully I can come up with something. Okay, so after a quick bit of research, I think I've managed to find somewhere that I can definitely get to today. I've managed to book myself a return train ticket and 1 night stay in a hotel. The train fare was just over £34 and I got the accommodation for 26 quid. So altogether coming in about £60 so far, so we're on budget. But the train leaves in about an hour, which means I'm gonna have to get a move on. Just managed to make it to the train station. Managed to make quite good time actually, so I've got about 20 minutes or so to kill before the train's ready to board. So I'm gonna go grab myself some breakfast. Thank you. Fab, thank you. Have a nice day. So that breakfast has just cost about £11.50. Bringing the total spend up so far to just under £72. Probably not the best use of money when we're on a budget, but your boy needs coffee, so what are we going to do? Anyway, the train that I'm on now is going to take just under 2 hours to get to the destination, so I'm going to use this time to do a bit of research and find out what activities I can do when I get there. Got about £28 left remaining, so let's see what we can do for the budget. Been on the train for about an hour now, got about an hour left, so about halfway through the journey. And after doing a bit of research, I think I found a few potential activities that we can do. Some of them for quite cheap, some of them for completely free. So we've got a few potential contenders. I don't think I've told you where we're actually going yet. If you've got any guesses, put it down in the comments and I'm going to keep you waiting for a bit longer. So I've just arrived at the final destination. Any guesses as to where we are yet? Manchester. And this is one of my favourite cities, so I'm pretty pleased that I've managed to get a couple nights here. I'm looking forward to spending a couple of days in the city. First of all, I'm going to go and head to the hotel though. Can't actually check in till 3 o'clock, but I'm hoping I can at least go drop the bags off. So I'm going to make my way to the hotel, see if we can potentially check in early, and then head off and do some of our activities that we've got planned. It's a 9-minute walk to the hotel. Hey, we've got a booking for tonight. I was just wondering, would we be able to leave our bags here for now? More? So I've just been to the hotel. As suspected, we wasn't able to check in early. It is a budget hotel, but they were friendly enough to let us store the bags there. So just got the 1 backpack now, and I've left the suitcase at the travel lodge. Makes it a lot easier to get around. So now we're going to head to our first activity, which is actually completely free. So we're already saving money on that tight budget. And of course, the first location is a 40-minute walk in the opposite direction from where we've just come. I'll definitely be getting my steps in today. So we just stopped by this K-pop anime shop on the way to the museum, and I've just come in and they've got these grabbers. These remind me so much of the ones in Melbourne, so I'm going to have a go. So this costs £5 for these 3 tokens, so we'll have to take that off the budget. I think that leaves us with about 20 quid, so hopefully we win something on this one. Should we go for a Dragonite? Go for a Dragonite. Let us try.
Try the other one now.
Yes. 2 more. See if we can win him a friend. Squirtle or Charizard?
Squirtle.
Oh. Try Charizard, he's closer. Come on. Ah. I mean, we've got a Dragonite though, so can't complain at that. So I've just did a quick calculation on the cost that it took us to win this Dragonite, and that has left us with this much money. So that's what we've got left to try and get some dinner and to do any of the other activities that we're going to do for the day. So we're going to have to start spending a bit more sensibly. So I seem to have overlooked the fact that it's actually going to be about 25 degrees in Manchester today, and I'm wearing long cargo trousers. It's absolutely boiling, so I'm going to go pop and see if I can find some shorts or something else to wear, because I'm not going to be coping in these all day. It's not even got to the hottest part yet. So to do some clothes shopping, we come to everyone's favourite budget retailer, Primark. There we go, got myself a pair of shorts, that's better. Now, I'm not taking the money for that off the money for the challenge. Call me a cheat if you want, but this technically doesn't count as part of the trip away. I needed these anyway, didn't have a pair of shorts, and I'm going to use them after this weekend, so it technically doesn't count. If you disagree with the fact that I've done that and you think I'm cheating, you should subscribe to this channel to tell me how much you really disagree. So because I'm about as useless as you can be, it turns out we're not going to that first spot today, because I just got there and it was closed, and then I looked online and realised it is closed today because it is in fact not Sunday, it is Monday, and it's not open on Mondays. So going to try and head back there again tomorrow, but as for now I'm going to head and try and find something to eat, making sure that we're still in budget for the day. I think we've got about 20 quid left, so should be quite easy to do, but we'll see. So when it comes to trying to eat on a budget, there's only one option, which is the tried and true method, and that is Wetherspoons. This meal has cost £8.89, so that brings the total spend up so far to about 86 quid, so we've got about £14 left, and that's to do whatever activities we've got for the rest of today and to try and get us through tomorrow as well. I've just finished up at lunch. I ended up going for the corn wrap with chips. It was alright. It's Spoons food, you know, you get what you pay for. I mean, I say you get what you pay for, we nearly didn't. So I'm actually here with my partner as well, but he's not taking part in the challenge. But it was his phone that we ordered the food on, and he put down the wrong table number. So after 20 minutes when it's still hadn't come, he finally realised and went running to the bar to go and tell him. But never mind. Anyways, we're just heading off now to somewhere else. So obviously that first place was going to go is closed today, so we're going to try and head back there tomorrow instead. But as for now, we are going to go to the Science and Technology Museum. Apparently that one is open today, if I've read the website right. So I'm going to head over there, spend about an hour there, and then we'll be able to go and check in to the hotel, because we've actually got something planned for this evening, which should be quite fun. Just walked past the Central Library on the way over to the museum, and it's free entry as well, so I thought we'd just pop in and have a quick look. I've just come to this part of the library where they've got like all this like archive storage with loads of old books, and there's a camera here that's showing some sort of corridor, and is it just me, or is that a ghost on there? That definitely looks like a child or a woman. Yeah, that's pretty creepy. I think I'm done with that one. Just finished up at the Central Library. It's not normally the sort of place that I would even bother to go into, if I'm being completely honest, but it actually had some quite interesting stuff in there. There was this one exhibition, Acting Up, which was all about 40 years of activism that they've done for like HIV and AIDS in the city. Loads of like historical stuff, diary entries from nurses that was going through, you know, working through the AIDS epidemic and everything. It actually was quite emotional a little bit. If you're ever in the city, I'd definitely recommend going to see it. I mean, just for that expedition. It's on till I think December this year, so definitely worth a look if you happen to be going past. Anyway, we're just heading off to the Science and Industry Museum now, and then got some plans for that later on this evening. Just coming to the Science and Technology Museum, and the lady at the front desk said that there is a textiles demonstration that's about to start, so we're going to go and see what that's all about. I always do.
Oh God, yeah.
So today we're going to demonstrate some machinery, and we're going to explore the stories that these machines tell us. So this site was built in 1830 as the world's first goods and passenger railway station. This building was built in 1882. Because the
That was kind of interesting, but probably not really aimed at me, if we're being honest. And in typical me fashion, I've stayed too long and run out of time. So I now need to start heading back to the hotel so I can get changed ready for tonight. And you've got to save time for looking in the gift shop. Didn't end up getting anything from the gift shop. I was hoping they'd have some stickers or something. I've started putting them all over my MacBook, so I wanted something to add onto there, but didn't have any, so never mind. But we're just heading back to the hotel now. Gonna go chill for about an hour and then head off to our activity that we've got booked for this evening. So I have just now checked into the hotel and it's pretty much what you expect for a travel lodge. I said I'd give you a room tour, but there's not much of a room to tour. Got bathroom, bed, and the door, as well as a lovely view of a petrol station. I mean, you can't really complain for 26 quid though. It's been a few hours now since I last checked in with you, and I'm just actually back outside of the Central Library. Now, the reason for that is because this is where we're starting our next activity for the evening, which is actually going to be a murder mystery tour of Manchester. And this costs £10, so I can take that off the budget. Still within it for the moment, but it is a murder mystery, death in the shadows of Manchester. So it says, you know the old saying, the boyfriend did it. On an ill-fated night, love goes terribly wrong for Bella Wonderlust and Walter Bridges. Bella, a famous travel blogger, was found dead during a ghost tour led by theatrical Percy Shadows. Now it's up to you to uncover the truth. Was it Walter, the obsessed boyfriend, Percy, the ghost tour guide with their flair for dramatic, or is someone else hiding in the shadows? Sounds ominous, but we better get started.
Now, this whole experience lasted about an hour, and it has you walking around the city, solving puzzles, engaging with your surroundings, and finding clues in an attempt to solve the murder. Silly accents not essential.
3 years ago, I won a medal and came second place in the Secret Gardens magazine Garden of the Year.
If you want to see the full experience and find out who killed Bella Wonderlust, then click the card to watch the full experience here on my second channel.
Alright, so I've just finished the murder mystery tour, and what do I think about it? Well, overall, was it what I expected? Kind of yes and no. Good points is that it was quite fun, it was kind of interactive, it did get you around walking around the city, seeing different things that you wouldn't usually, getting your steps in, so in that sense it was a bit unique of an experience. But on the negative sides is that it didn't really utilize the surroundings as much as I thought it was going to. Like the first one or two puzzles, it was all like you had to find stuff in your surroundings that was, you know, the clues to them, and a lot of them weren't actually like that. It was just walk to a place and then use your phone to sort of figure out the clue, and it wasn't necessarily around, you know, using anything that was around you. And the other issue is just that one of the ones that was using your surroundings was unfortunately covered up by scaffolding, so we couldn't use it anyway. But overall, I do think it was quite a fun and unique experience, and I probably would recommend it if you was going to do it. Just be prepared for what it actually is. Some of the clues are quite easy, some of them are a little bit more difficult, but overall it probably is more aimed towards younger audiences, but still a bit of fun if you just fancy a laugh and something different. Overall, out of 10 for a whole experience, I'd probably give it a 7. I'm just about to arrive to the second stop for this evening. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to actually film too much in here. I'll try to get some clips to show you during it, but the reason why is because we're actually going to see the workshopping of a new musical. So it's called Stairwatch. Guessing it's based on Baywatch, but it is the concert version, so it's going to be a cast of people just sort of like reading through the scripts and going over the songs, so it's going to be quite interesting. But this cost us £4, so taking that off of the budget pretty much covers everything that we've got so far, but hopefully it's going to be worth it. Just sat down in the pub now waiting for the show to start. As you can see, I'm now back in the hotel. I've just got in from the show, and to be honest, it wasn't quite what I expected. Definitely not terrible, but not the best thing I've ever seen. Ultimately, for £4, I can't really complain though. I didn't manage to get much footage because it was kind of small and awkward, but I did manage to record this so you can have a look.
Watching TV, everything's great in America. The sky, the land, the sea, it might save me. Can you take me?
I guess at the very least it was a good way to spend an evening. You know, it's good to try different things and experience different stuff from time to time, but I am absolutely shattered. I've done about 20,000 steps today. It's nearly midnight and I'm up early in the morning, so I'm going to call it here.
So I've just come into the lift and I can't get downstairs. It doesn't work, it's not doing anything. Like literally I keep pressing 1 and nothing's happening. There we go, that's what's meant to happen. Thank you. Good morning, it is day 2 in Manchester. I've just checked out of the hotel this morning and to be honest, didn't have the best night's sleep. So it turns out that we booked a hotel in probably quite a sketchy area. The room next to us had 2 police officers waiting outside of it all night. Have no idea why, but they was there when we got in at midnight and they were still there when we checked out this morning. And there was also another police car that pulled up outside of the hotel at about 3 AM that pulled somebody over. I have no idea what that was about either. So honestly, between the noise and the fact that it was about 17 degrees and we had no air conditioning, didn't get the best sleep, but never mind, it was cheap. Like I say, can't really complain. This morning I have realised that I've made a bit of a mistake. I kind of completely forgot that the budget was meant to go not just for yesterday but for today as well, and I think I've got about 70p left if I want to complete this challenge. So we've actually now made a part 2 where it's not just a £100 budget challenge, it's now a no money challenge as well. But luckily I've already had an idea for breakfast, so I'm going to head there now and I'll let you into what we're going to do once I arrive.
Summer is falling, it's a distant dream. If I turn around, you're really back to me.
Just walking into town and I've come past this like massive queue of people that are all stood outside of this shop. Like, it looks like they're all queuing up ready to go in for something, and I've just realised that it says La Boo Boos and then it's got like an artist name, and I only know about these because my 10-year-old niece was talking to me about them the other day, so I'm guessing these are some sort of like collectible dolls and everyone's queuing up to go in and get these things from this like pop-up shop. Not my sort of thing, but I mean, if it makes you happy. Where have I come for breakfast? Well, I've come to Costa. You're probably thinking, I've already expended the budget, so how am I managing to get Costa? Because surely you had to pay for that. Well, actually, no, I didn't. Because on the Costa Coffee Club app, I very fortunately had a free drink. That's what I thought about this morning. So this iced coffee actually didn't cost me anything whatsoever. Once again, if you think that's cheating, that's absolutely valid. You can really show me how much you disagree by subscribing to the channel, and that will really show me how much I failed this challenge. Just finished up at Costa for breakfast. Gonna head now and do some window shopping because it's free. So I've just been told off by a security guard for filming in a shopping centre, but I'm going to do what Simon Wilson would do and just carry on filming anyway. So it's coming up to lunchtime now and I'm getting pretty hungry. However, I obviously don't have any money left in the budget to actually buy any food with, but I've managed to have a pretty good idea. So a lot of like fast food chains and apps and everything give you like free items when you have a birthday. So I thought if I can download some of these apps and put my birthday in this today and see what I can get for free, and then maybe we can get some lunch. So I'm going to have a look online now and see which apps actually offer this as like a thing and see what I'm able to get for free, so that way we can still stay in budget and we're on, you know, for the challenge still. So I'm going to have a look now, see what apps offer these services, see what I can get for free, and hopefully get myself a decent lunch. After doing a quick bit of research, I've actually managed to find a specific website that lists loads of different companies that give you like free food and stuff. So I've actually signed up to a couple different ones, so hopefully I'll get some of those offers starting to come through in a second. But I've got the first one already, and I've managed to get myself a free crunchy taco from Taco Bell. And just to prove that it was free, here's a picture of the receipt. Didn't cost me anything, so we're still within budget for today. I'll leave a link to the website in the description if you want to check it out yourself to see all the ones I've got the free options. That taco was alright, especially for free, but didn't really fill me up. But luckily, I've got a dessert option that I'm going to head and get now, which is also going to be for free. Yeah, can I just get the salted caramel one, please?
No,
That's it, thank you. How do I use the free one?
scan your rewards card. There we go.
Ah, thank you very much. And I got myself a free donut as well. £3.29 that should have been, so that's like £5 worth of food for free, so you definitely can't complain at that. Just headed over to the museum now, and on the way, I've just stopped by and seen like a huge crowd of people outside of this hotel, and now because I'm really nosy and wanted to know what's going on, I decided to go and take a look, and then everyone got their phones out and started filming, and it turns out it was Bruce Springsteen. like the famous singer. Like, literally just managed to see him getting into his taxi. He came out, he was like signing people autographs and everything. So that's not something I expected to see today. So this is where I tried to come yesterday. The Manchester Museum, but because I'm apparently illiterate, it was closed, as we saw, but it is apparently open today, so I'm gonna head inside and see what time to see. Didn't realise that beavers were this big. Then again, I don't really see them, do I? Oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Been there, been there, been there, been there, been there, been there.
Been there.
Yeah, been this road here. What do you get if your son likes men and women? Not gonna lie, it's kind of awkward to film in here because it's really quiet and everyone's like a proper adult, which I'm not. I've got a whole like ancient Egyptian exhibit, which is really cool because I love this stuff. Oh wow, as soon as you come outside of that Egypt bit, they've got this giant stuff lion. It looks like it's still alive, that's kind of creepy. It's got like stripes on it though, it doesn't look like a lion. It's one of those hybrids. Tigons are a hybrid animal created by people. They can only be found in captivity. I just find that so interesting that like two animals that have completely different genetics and like come from completely different parts of the world are able to like breed together. They're obviously genetically similar enough that they can have viable offspring, which is just crazy because like you said, they'd never even see each other in the wild. That'd be like a human having a baby with a gorilla. This is awesome. Anyone that knows me knows how much I absolutely love animals. They've got a massive exhibit of loads of like taxidermied specimens and they've got pretty much every animal you can think of. Apparently they don't just have dead stuff here, they have got a whole section of living animals as well. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to start making my way out now because it's about 4:10 and the train's booked for 5 o'clock. Still need to go back to the hotel and get my suitcase as well, but this place is really, really good. 100% I'll be coming back to come and see the rest of it. It's absolutely massive and I've literally seen like 2 of the exhibits. If you are in Manchester, this is definitely worth a visit, especially for free. So that museum also doesn't have any stickers, but I've not got time to be sad about that because I've got to get back to the hotel and then to the train station in about 50 minutes, and it's apparently a 40-minute walk just back to the hotel. I managed to make it onto the train just about. Here's a tip: if you've got pre-reserved tickets that aren't transferable, maybe don't leave it until last minute to get to the train station. Also, when you've reserved seats, maybe check that they're definitely reserved, because even though we did reserve seats for this train journey back, we're currently stood in the hallway because the train appears to be oversold. Every single seat is full and there's people stood up all the way down as well, so it's going to be a fun journey on the way back to Hull. So I'm currently in Liverpool. It turns out that when I was complaining about there being nowhere to sit on the train, that wasn't really even my problem because I was on the wrong one. There was 2 trains leaving at roughly the same time, both from platform 3, one to Liverpool, one to Hull. The screen said the Liverpool one had been delayed and the next one was going to be the train going to Hull. So when the next train comes in, I get straight onto it. It wasn't until about 20 minutes into the journey that I realised it was going the wrong way. So I'm now in Liverpool Lime Street Station, having to wait about an hour to get on the next train going back to Manchester, to then swap over and get the train back to Hull again, potentially having to buy even more train tickets because, as I said, they were not transferable, and I'm now not going to get home until about 2 hours late. So this has gone really well. It's about an hour and a half later than planned and from the wrong train station, but thankfully I'm now on the train on the way home. Spoke to the train conductor before getting on and he was super understanding. He said absolutely not a problem. So thankfully I haven't had to pay for any more train tickets and I'm now finally on the way back home. It does now mean that the train journey is going to be about 2.5 hours instead of an hour and 40 minutes. So I'm going to use this time to just relax a little bit, sort out some of the footage that I've got during this trip and think about what I'm going to have for dinner when I get home. And I am finally back in Hull. There's 7 words I never thought I'd say. But you know what? I've actually really enjoyed this trip, even the unplanned detour to Liverpool. I'm glad that I decided to set myself this challenge, and even though it was a bit out of my comfort zone, I got to experience things that I wouldn't have usually have done. Plus, it's given me an idea. I was wondering on the way home, would it be possible to book a spontaneous trip away abroad for less than £100? So if you want to see that video, comment down below and let me know, and make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss it when it comes out. But to answer the question from the beginning of this video, can you have a spontaneous trip away for less than £100? Yeah. Back to Manchester.
Platform 9.
That was rude.
17.
And I am finally... But... words, thinking. It does mean that the train journey is now going to be about 2.5 hours as opposed to 2 hours and 40 minutes. So I'm going to use this time to... It does now mean that the train journey is going to be about 2.5 hours instead of an hour and 40 minutes.